guys, hi, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I have a very exciting empties for you and I cannot wait to show it to you because it is super exciting. There's a lot of makeup in here. Some of that comes from my project pan. It's funny, when I do empties, I have to do my project pan first, especially if there's empties in it, because then I have to put them in my empties and then I have to do my empties because, as you all know, I'm also doing a beauty bank this year and every makeup empty counts towards a point, towards a purchase I'm able to make in my beauty bank. So I just came from doing my project pan update and there's a lot of project pan empties in here. So I'm super stoked about it. With that said, I hope that sounds like something you're interested in. If it does, please keep on watching. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high-end, colorful beauty and self-care. I also work at Ulta Beauty as a field leader and I get a lot of education in my position. I like to bring you that education through things like reviews on my channel, but I also do all the regular beauty YouTube content creation kind of stuff that you see out there. But I kind of like to talk about makeup, so you get a lot more chatty videos here with me, and if that sounds like something that soothes your soul, I do hope that you'll want to stick around, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload, and see you in the comments section. All the things. With that said, let's jump into this empties video because I have quite a bit, so let's do this. I am going to just straight away start. We're just going to walk into this. This is the Bath & Body Works Wallflower in Tiki Beach. This is supposed to have fruity and happy notes. It's supposed to smell like warm vanilla musk, orchids, and toasted coconut. And you know, I have to say, this did smell like warm vanilla and toasted coconut. I think that it had a really, really beautiful scent to it, and I would pick it up again in a heartbeat. I could really smell the toasted coconut in here, but it wasn't like super overpowering coconut, and pretty much anything that smells like coconut is gonna like draw me in, to be honest. But I also just really love warm vanilla, so warm vanilla sugar used to be my like scent of choice until I grew up and became an adult. Nobody likes that adulting thing, but it definitely changed my taste in fragrances. Even though I still love a vanilla scent, like any vanilla scent can draw me in, I like a more elitist vanilla scent than the Bath & Body Works. But man, this was a beautiful scent. I would repurchase it in a heartbeat. I really love those wallflowers too. I have two different places in my home I burn them. That one I think lasted a long time, even in my room here. It was in my makeup room. It wasn't super sweet, sickeningly overpowering sugar smell. So I would definitely purchase it again. I know that if it did well in here, it would also do well in my bathroom. The next thing I have is a Bath & Body Works hand soap. This is White Coconut Caramel, and this does have notes of coconut flakes, toasted hazelnut, and caramel swirl, and it smelled like lattes to me. Like a wonderful coffee, white chocolate mochas, fall days. It was such a beautiful scent. I would also purchase this again, hands down. I think this one is one that my daughter got for me for like my birthday or something like that. I love the bottle. The color of it is beautiful and it's just got a really pretty like texture to it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but oh my gosh, such a beautiful scent. I did have it in my bathroom, would repurchase it in a heartbeat. Next thing I have is this is a CeraVe Hydrating Cream to Foam Cleanser for normal to dry skin. I used this pretty consistently, but I think that the majority of the use of this cleanser honestly came from my 11-year-old daughter. Well, isn't 11 quite yet. She will be 11 though by the time you're seeing this. She's got acneic skin, and trying to get her to wash her face on a regular basis became quite a bit of a struggle. So I just put this out on the sink and reminded her every day to wash her face, and because this was so easily accessed, she utilized this, and I need to buy her some more because she's out, but I do have some cleansers over there that I think I'd rather barrel through first. This isn't a bad cleanser. It does get foamy, and I find that for my skin that is super dry, that if a product gets foamy, that it also like almost strips my skin of all the natural oils and leaves my skin a little bit more dry than I would like it to be. This does say it's hydrating, and I did feel that it was less stripped, but it still kind of squeaked, right? But my daughter loved it. So this does say normal to dry skin. I would say it's more for normal skin than it is for dry skin. It does really good on her a little bit more oily skin though too. Really great cleanser, really very affordable also. I would repurchase that for her for sure. Then I have one of these. This is the Tree Hut Sugar Scrub in Frosted Sugar Cookie, and it smelled like sugar cookies, like somebody, like Cookie Crumble. Oh my god, that is the best place ever. Have you all had a cookie from Cookie Crumble? Best place ever. Like, and their cookies are as big around as this. They're huge. Anyways, I digress. Tree Hut Sugar Scrub and Frosted Cookie. I loved this. It smelled so good. I always love these sugar scrubs. You guys can get them for like $10.99 at Ulta Beauty, and often they are buy one get one half off. I buy them all the time. I always have some on rotation. I would definitely repurchase that scent specifically. I also have this. This is an IGK anti-frizz soothing serum or smoothing serum called Crybaby, and this was like a hair oil almost, but I love this hair oil. I actually have a couple more of them over there. It's not something that I won't ever repurchase. I love this serum actually. It goes onto your hair, helps with the frizz without being so oily that it like weighs down your hair. You feel like you need to wash your hair more often, which is good because those of you who have been around know I don't wash my hair very often because of the vivid colors in my hair. Normally I'm not blonde, although I'm kind of digging the blonde if I'm honest, but I love this serum. I will always have it in my collection, more than likely. Trying to find the things that are not makeup. Okay, so I did have a couple of little itty bitty beauty blenders. These ones have actually been in use for far too long, in my opinion. They do have quite a bit of rips and tears in them. I actually received these at my very first FLC. They're part of the Jeffree Star Morphe sponge kits that were coming out, so I know exactly how old these are. And because they're all ripped up and kind of, they look in one piece on the camera, but like when I squeeze them to squeeze water out of them, you can tell just how much they're like dinged up. And I always throw away my sponges when there's rips or tears in them, because I don't want, you know, that bacteria on my skin, and I neglected to with these guys, and I think it's just because I use them so infrequently, but they need to go. My first FLC was in 2019. Those need to go. Okay, I do have a couple of brushes, 3 of them to be exact. These two, no big deal. They are, one of them is a Wet n Wild brush that I got many moons ago. I just found that it was a little bit wonky to try and apply. It's not as fluffy as I wanted it to be, but also not a dense brush. It didn't really blend very nicely. I'm kind of going through my brushes right now one at a time, like dirtying brushes and not trying to clean in between each use, so I'm consistently grabbing the same brushes over and over again, but instead trying to get some use out of the brushes in my collection that I haven't used in forever. And as I use them, I decide whether they are a brush I love or I hate. This one I really kind of did not like. It's not a bad brush, so to speak, but it isn't also a great brush in my opinion. So I will give this to my daughter. Not a big deal on that one. This one though, I just threw away today because it has gotten so pokey that when I went to go do my eyeshadow on this eye today, like one of its little hairs poked right into my dang eye, and then my eye just started watering some more, destroyed my eye look. I had to start all over on this one eye because of this brush, and because of that it pissed me off, and it's going in the trash can. And this is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill, I believe. Yeah, Morphe Jaclyn Hill, JH 420, JH 410. I don't know. The writing's so tiny. How does anybody read that anymore? I will offer this up to my daughter as well. My skin is just far too sensitive to be poked like that, and I won't do it. This one devastates me. It truly devastates me because it is a Sigma brush, and it is a Sigma brush that I wanted for so long, but I think I have talked about this brush before in the past. I did pick this up from FabFitFun, and I'm not sure that the stuff that lands on the beauty box or, you know, the subscription box websites for their edit sales, or like the IPSY flash sales, or the like boxy pop-ups or whatnot. I'm just not sure those are the same quality of items. This Sigma brush, which is the Edge Kabuki, it's the one that's shaped like a triangle, F87, cost me like 12 bucks on FabFitFun on an edit sale. It shed from the very first time I used it. And I think that it has just shed enough that now it's the whole thing is coming out, because there's not enough bulk in there anymore to hold everything in. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see. Of course you can't, but I mean, if I could show you on, can you guys see on a darker like background the hairs that are coming off of that? Like, I would like just pull out the little straggler hairs every now and then, you know, because it's absolutely frustrating to be doing your foundation with this. And this is a great foundation brush. It gets right up into the corners of everything, all the crevices, everything you need it to cover. But it's frustrating to have all those, like, you know, hairs on your face after you get done doing that. So I would pull out the little stragglers of hair. Well, last time I pulled out a straggler of hair, I grabbed like 2 or 3 and a giant chunk of hair came out. And then it was game over. So my heart is broken, but I mean, it's been in my collection for a while, and it isn't a brush that I picked up at Sigma, so I don't even know if they would. I think I've had it for more than 2 years. They do have a 2-year warranty on them, but I think I have had it for more than 2 years, and even then I picked it up from a FabFitFun edit sale, so I'm not sure that that guarantee still exists, but I was truly heartbroken to have to throw this into what ultimately will be the garbage, because I can't even give that one to my daughter. Okay, so I've got 2 more items, and then the rest is makeup. This is actually a Tula Protect and Glow Daily Sunscreen Gel. This was the facial sunscreen that I was using at the beginning of the summer, like May to like June. And the first part of last month, I went through the rest of it. SPF of 30, wonderful SPF. It's so beautiful on the skin. It made me fall in love with Tula as a brand, if I'm honest, because it's a wonderful sunscreen. When I get done with the sunscreens that are currently in my stash, I will probably repurchase this. I really had a good time with it. The only thing I hated about it was it had the nastiest look to it, like the nastiest like look and texture. It had kind of like a off whitish yellow, I don't know, it looked really gross. But I looked it up online to see what it was supposed to look like, and what it looked like was what it was supposed to look like, so I know it was good. It just looked awful. So, but it gave a really healthy, natural glow to my skin. I would also say that this doesn't play well with like actual foundations with good heavy, you know, like good coverage foundations. I found that it liked to pill up when I was putting like any kind of makeup over the top of it that wasn't like thin. So like it worked well with the skin tint, but not with anything else. So I am a skin tint kind of girl, so it didn't offend me and I could work around it. But if you wear anything more than a skin tint, that's probably not a great sunscreen for you. And then the last hair product I have in here is this. And this is the Dry Bar Coconut Colada Detox Dry Shampoo. I really do like this dry shampoo. It smells divine. I would repurchase this in a heartbeat, but this is just like a travel size or a mini. These are like 16 bucks or something like that, but it's really good and it smells really nice. It doesn't leave a white cast, gives a little bit of texture to your hair and a little bit of oomph without making it feel like gritty from the, you know, just the fact that it's a dry shampoo. So I really do like Dry Bar products and I would repurchase that. The rest of this is makeup. So I'm really excited about what's in this basket. So let's start with these things because they are from my project pan. I have a lot actually from my project pan. So I have this. This is the Fenty Pro Filter Hydrating Foundation. This has been in my collection actually for several years. Several years. Yes. I am in the shade 260. I don't believe you can get this anymore. Sephora does have it for sale, but I think it's like $13 at Sephora right now, and you can only get like 2 different shades of it. I do think that they're phasing this out. However, that makes me very sad because this was my favorite foundation for the longest time. It just sits so beautifully on my skin. Today is the last day that I used it. It is what is on my skin today. It is the day that I was able to empty it. It's a beautiful foundation. I would, if it were available, I would repurchase this over any other like medium coverage foundation that I have in my collection right now. I enjoyed this foundation so much. I feel like it's like a medium to full coverage. It's buildable to full coverage foundation that really moves with your skin. And that's what I love in anything other than a skin tint kind of foundation, because I'm definitely not a foundation kind of girl. Then I have the Fenty Ease Drops. This is in the shade 9, and I did already purchase a backup of this. I will continue to have this in my collection. If I cannot have this, I must have this, because this is only lighter weight and more perfecting, if that makes any sense. When it says it's blurring, it definitely is blurring. I don't necessarily need blurring all over my face, but I do have sections of my like cheek area that does have a lot of texture on it that I absolutely hate, and this is a skin tint that covers it entirely. I would say this skin tint is more of a medium coverage that is very buildable, very breathable, moves with your face, doesn't look cakey at the end of the day, wears away beautifully. It is such a beautiful foundation. Super happy to have that out of my collection as well. And then I also had this skin tint, or this tinted moisturizer, I should say, by Studio Makeup. I can't remember what shade this is because it doesn't say. It's a tinted moisturizer. It had obviously a little bit of a natural, I don't know, warm toned beige tint to it. I could swear that it was in the shade Oat, but obviously I am wrong because it's not on here anywhere. But this has hyaluronic acid in it, so it's very hydrating. It feels very nice on your face. It does feel just like a moisturizer. I used some of it and then handed it down to my daughter to finish up because it didn't suit my skin tone anymore after, like, say, March. I also felt like it was just a little bit too yellow, in my humble opinion. If they're going to do a tinted moisturizer, it needs to be something that's a little more neutral, especially if it's not going to have like a shade range that it belongs to. I wouldn't repurchase this just because I felt like it was a little too heavy for a tinted moisturizer. Even though it had, you know, decent coverage, it looked really nice on the skin. It was just a little bit too heavy for my liking, and it was a little bit too yellow. So some primers I was able to finish are these 3 here. So I have this Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Blurring Primer. Lovely primer. It has a really nice, like, silky texture without being super silicone-y. It goes on your skin really well. I don't think it's my favorite, if I'm honest. I feel like it is a beautiful lotiony, soft, silky feel to it. Really pretty. I did get this in an influencer box, and I probably wouldn't repurchase it because I'm just not a blurring skin perfector primer kind of person, but I did enjoy it. It wasn't bad. The next one I had was this one, which was the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. Again, I'm not really a blurring primer kind of person. Somehow I found that to be what was in my primer drawer for like ever. But I really did like this. The one thing that I didn't like about it is that it's in, the form that it is, and I don't feel like it's as effective when you use a brush, get it onto your brush and brush it on your face, as it is when you swipe it on and then brush it around on your face. I feel like it was better when you put it directly onto your skin, and I did not like that about it, but I really did have a good time with this. It's not super silicone that your everything kind of slips all over the place with it, much like the Laura Mercier one, but this one is a stick and a solid and feels a little bit more silky, and this one feels a little bit more moisturizing, if that makes any sense. Really nice primer, but I wouldn't repurchase it. And I emptied 2 setting sprays, 3 foundations, 3 primers, 3 mascaras, 1 brow product, 1 blush, 1 eye primer, 1 eyeliner. Crazy sauce. Crazy sauce. I have to be honest, I'm super excited about the, dent I've been able to make and the products in my collection this year. And like, I go through my inventory, pretty consistently. And I think that I am just happy where it's at. I'm really happy at the movement that we're making in my product collection. I really am just trying to use what I have. We all are going to spend money. We're all going to spend, sometimes frivolously, sometimes not. But I'm making strides at not bringing more than my fair share into my collection, which I'm super excited about. So with that said, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you had a good time here, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please also subscribe before you go. I would love to welcome you into my wonderful YouTube fam here. See you down in the comment section, banter back and forth, have a conversation down there. We love it all. I hope that you and yours are safe, sound, healthy, and doing well. Sorry about the sun. I hope that you are getting along as best you can in this crazy world we're living in right now, that you're loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye, friends.